The Mario Galaxy movie introduced amazing characters that everyone always wanted to see. But do you know which are the best and the worst characters in this movie? Yoshi. Yoshi is without a doubt the best character in this Mario movie sequel. He's incredibly funny, even though he can only say a single word. Not to mention that he does amazing things like swallowing characters and shooting them out in the form of an egg. Although, thinking about it now, that's actually pretty gross because coming out the back door can't feel very good. But Yoshi was a wonderful surprise in this movie. Everyone wanted to take a dinosaur like him home, not to mention he's super loyal, incredibly cute, and perfectly captures Yoshi's personality from the games. Guys, he even rides a motorcycle! Tell me that's not awesome! That's why Yoshi takes the #1 spot on our list. Do you agree? We still have so much more to show you today. Get comfy and come with us, because another Cinewave is about to start. Luigi. Luigi takes the 2nd spot on our list, yes, ahead of Mario, and you probably already know why. Luigi gets way more screen time in this movie, and he fights alongside his brother like a true hero. He grew so much in this movie in a surprising way, gets several power-up forms, fights Bowser, and defeats enemies. He's not cowardly like many people expected. Not to mention he encourages his brother to follow his dreams, like when he tells Mario that Peach would be lucky to date the protagonist. Luigi takes his place as one of the franchise's main protagonists, and watching him grow from one movie to the next was an absolute pleasure. Mario. And finally, our protagonist. Mario makes our list as the 3rd best character in the movie because he's much more prepared this time around. Way more experienced, he doesn't need training like before and defeats several enemies. The truth is that Mario feels much more like the hero from the games in this animation than what Nintendo showed in the first movie. In other words, we finally have our good old Mario as a complete hero. But there's one problem. In this movie, Mario makes it very clear that he has feelings for Princess Peach. He wants the girl as his girlfriend, and we want that for the couple too. But Mario never confesses his love, and that's frustrating. In Super Mario Odyssey, he even proposes marriage to Peach. He has the courage to confess his love and go after the girl he wants. It's a shame he doesn't do that in the movie, and that's why he doesn't get 1st place. Peach. Princess Peach also makes our list as one of the best characters. She's super active, brave, strong, fights extremely well, and has everything it takes to star in her own movie. Let's remember that this character already has games where she's the main protagonist, so there's definitely room for that. But this movie has one problem. Mario and Luigi go after Peach, but it almost feels like the princess doesn't even need saving. There's nothing wrong with Peach being that powerful because she really is, but the movie failed to explain why she would need help from the other characters. Let's remember that she completely destroyed King Wart's gang all by herself. That would only make sense if she were the protagonist of the movie, but she isn't, and that's why she lands in 4th place. Do you agree? Fox McCloud. One of the biggest surprises in this movie is Fox McCloud. He's an incredible spaceship pilot. The movie's art style even switches from 3D to 2D. This character is so good that he opens the door for an entirely new franchise, and hopefully the Star Fox team joins the movie universe. Watching him fly through space makes you want to become the captain of a spaceship and live an epic adventure among the stars. We absolutely loved Fox McCloud, and that's why he makes our list as one of the best characters, but he's not part of the Mario universe, so his ranking is more of an honorary position. Bowser Jr. The villain's son is a powerful antagonist. Bowser Jr. was a great surprise in the movie, and everybody likes him. The Koopa Prince is smart, powerful, and acts like a villain with a real plan. He doesn't just want to kidnap a princess, he wants to dominate the universe by building a powerful machine. But at the same time, it makes total sense that he's immature because Junior is still a child. He doesn't have a silly motivation like Bowser, but at the same time, his plan is weak because he ends up defeating himself after being consumed by his own power. Even so, he ranks above Bowser because he manages to bring his own father back to evil. Do you prefer Bowser or Junior? Comment the hashtag Mario so we can get to know you. Bowser. And speaking of Bowser, he lands in 7th place because he's not the movie's main villain. We already knew the character and he tries to evolve as a person, but he just can't do it. He's still the king of the Koopas, but we see that he has an artistic side, painting and doing all kinds of creative things. But he throws all of that away to become evil again and set a terrible example for his son, Rosalina. And who would have thought that the movie's biggest surprise, Princess Rosalina, wouldn't rank among the top spots? But don't get us wrong, she is amazing, but she doesn't get much development. She should have been one of the protagonists, but we don't learn many important things about her. We only know that she's powerful and that she's Peach's sister, but beyond that, Rosalina deserved a lot more depth. Not to mention that Princess Rosalina has to be rescued at the end. She becomes a damsel in distress despite being one of the movie's main characters, and that doesn't respect how the games portray her. That's why she ends up in 8th place. R.O.B. Can you believe R.O.B. ranks among the best characters in the movie even with very little screen time? Yes, he's one of the best, and if you think he's annoying, you're probably not that big of a Mario fan. He's slow and annoying because that's a reference to the original R.O.B., who was sold alongside the Nintendo Nintendo console. In other words, it's one of the best adaptations possible. King Wart. We have to admit that seeing King Wart in the movie was awesome. It really was a huge surprise and brought back amazing memories from the games we used to play as kids. But unfortunately, he's not the King Wart we were hoping for. In the games, he's the King of Dreams. He's powerful. He's the main villain of Super Mario Bros. 2, but he was defeated way too easily here, which is a real shame. He deserves more screen time and will probably get some kind of spin-off movie in the future. Hopefully that happens. Even so, he takes the 10th spot because this character hasn't appeared since 1988, and nobody expected to see him again. Lumily, that blue Luma makes it onto our list in the 11th spot because he's been legendary ever since the first movie. He's creepy and funny at the same time, everybody loves him, and he swaps positions with Bowser because in the first movie, he was the one trapped, but now he's the one imprisoning the villain. But he barely gets any screen time, which is why he stays below the 10th position. Toad. Now we're entering the list of characters that ended up being disappointments, and sadly, Toad is one of them. Honestly, what did he even do in this movie? Absolutely nothing! He followed Peach around, didn't get any major lines, wasn't as funny as he was in the first movie, and didn't get any real character development. It's a shame, but he doesn't make the cut as a good character in the movie.
Don't forget, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you never miss any of our videos.
Birdo. And it hurts us to say this, but Birdo was not a good character. We know she wasn't supposed to have dialogue since she doesn't talk in the games, but her role in the movie is, unfortunately, boring. She's only there to get beaten up by Peach, and that's it. She never meets Yoshi, which is exactly what everyone expected to happen, but it didn't, and that's disappointing. Kamek. And the leader of the Magic Koopas, Counselor Kamek, was also a disappointment. He barely gets any screen time, doesn't use magic even though he's a powerful wizard, and nobody was happy that Kamek never talked about the prophecy. In Yoshi's Island, he says there was a prophecy involving Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. He doesn't reveal anything about that in the movie, and because of that, he doesn't make the list as a good character. Ruined Dragon. The movie's final boss, the Ruined Dragon, is a huge disappointment. In the movie, he's made out of ink, which doesn't respect the games at all. He's defeated way too easily by Mario, which also makes no sense and should have been an epic battle. So overall, it was a bad addition, and even though his appearance was kind of funny, it was still a weak reference. Koopas. Bowser's army, the Koopas, barely have any presence in the movie, and that's bad because it doesn't respect most of the games. They're the ones who attack Mario and Luigi. They're the reason the games feel full of adrenaline. That's why, unfortunately, the lack of Koopa involvement is a bad thing. Lumas. The Lumas also don't get a very good role in the movie. In the games, they help Mario throughout his adventure, but here they barely do anything. They just stay in Rosalina's castle playing around and looking cute, but they should have acted like helpers to the heroes. Unfortunately, they don't do that, and because of this detail, they don't rank among the best characters. Counselor. Counselor Toad is a character who unfortunately deserves one of the last spots for one simple reason. He shouldn't even exist. That counselor role belongs to Toadsworth, an elderly Toad character, but for some reason, they completely forgot about him in the movie, which is why this character ends up feeling like a problem in the film. Daisy. Get ready because here comes the controversy. Daisy, who is one of everyone's favorite characters, including ours, is a character who doesn't make it among the best. She doesn't get enough screen time. She's in space instead of appearing in her kingdom of Sirland. And even though she's clearly being set up for the future, nobody really understood why she appeared now. She should have been introduced in a different way, which is why she lands in the second to last position. Honey Queen. And finally, the worst character in the movie was Honey Queen. She's completely different from the games. In the games, she gives Mario a B power-up, asks for his help, and acts as an ally. But in the movie, she's evil and imprisons people for no reason. They changed her personality, and because of that, she doesn't deserve our applause, which is a shame. But we here on the channel never change, so always stick with us.
Enjoying it? Then click one of the two videos we left on the screen and keep going with us. See you next time!